Hey consultants, welcome back. So, Meta just announced that a more detailed targeting option will be removed on January 15th, and it is a continuation of the trend that began more than 3 years ago. Now, don't say that I didn't warn you. Essentially, this particular detailed targeting option, the removal of the detailed targeting option, is a reminder that you cannot really heavily rely on the granular and the detailed targeting option that Facebook or Meta had provided previously. Not only might it go away, but your targeting inputs mattered less and less with each new update that Meta or Facebook rolls out. Now, in this particular video, instead, I am hoping to break through to help you understand what's happening and is bound to happen with this particular update. It's time to embrace this particular direction and prepare for it. Now, when it comes to the targeting trends, it's debatable when the first rollout essentially dropped related to the current direction of targeting from about 2012 till 2015. And the focus was developing on new, powerfully specific ways to target people as per Meta or Facebook. New detailed targeting to reach people by actions and by behaviors. And that is exactly the reason that back in those time, let's say if you go back 2015 or 2012, you would be seeing that the more interest that you test, the greater results you essentially benefited from. But that is not the case right now. I mean, new custom audiences to reach those who have engaged with you, all focused on your inputs, etc. But maybe things didn't officially start shifting during the election season of 2015, but that's certainly when the seeds of the change were planted. The use of targeting to manipulate elections attracted security reasons and so on and so forth. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, found itself under significant regulatory pressure, and that is why all of that particular trend happened with respect to the Cambridge Analytica scam, etc., which again contributed to greater awareness of ways people were being tracked and how it was used to target advertising and to target people. So essentially, Meta developed new rules for special ad categories that were aimed at previously discrimination in the areas of employment, credit, and real estate. Then, after the Cambridge Analytica scam, iOS 14.5 update, and even before that, iOS 14 happened a few years later, and doubts emerged around how to accurately and to have a greater sense of targeting. It's because Meta took an interest in machine learning and in AI, which is artificial intelligence. And what it used to do was that it used to model to help repair lost data and essentially fill in the gaps with respect to targeting. Meta removed a certain amount of ad targeting options in the early part of 2022, which again most advertisers, most coaches, most business owners had seen. Those removal of focus on detailed targeting options then relate to topics people may perceive as sensitive, such as options referring to organizations or public figures related to health, race, ethnicity, political affiliations, religion, or sexual orientation. And so the removal of those targeting options feel like deja vu now. And so during the past couple of years, Meta launched several products that helped clarify the paths that we are on. For example, number one, what we saw was the rollout of advantage targeting expansion tools. Number one, what essentially advantage targeting expansion tools meant was that Meta launched advantage targeting details, advantage lookalikes, advantage custom audiences, and when used, Meta can expand your audience beyond your targeting inputs if more or better results can be found. And in some cases, it's an option that you can turn off. Again, depends on the ad set level, etc. And in others, expansion is on by default. In some ad accounts, you can see that expansion is particularly on by default. Number two, Meta rolled out Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. Essentially what that meant was that Meta launched its Advantage Plus shopping campaigns with respect to its machine learning and AI to help e-commerce advertisers. When running Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, no advertising inputs are provided at all beyond a cap on reaching current customers. Instead, Meta, what it does is that it essentially relies on signals and historical data that essentially it has. And number three, Advantage Plus audiences. Meta applied what it was doing with Advantage Plus shopping campaigns to create a version for any objective. Advantage Plus audience allows you to to target based on suggestions, with the expectations that the delivery can go much broader. If you don't provide suggestions, the algorithm will focus on pixel data and conversion history as a starting point. And so while you switch back to the old targeting method, advantage plus audience is now the default approach. We could even include Chrome's phase out of the third-party cookies in 2024 that it introduced as another critical change that is likely to impact how targeting happens. Essentially, what I mean by all of this is that we are inclined more towards the broader spectrum of targeting broad audiences or cold audiences instead of targeting single interest or flexing of interest or single interest targeting, basically. For example, what I mean in actuality is that, for example, if you were to launch a fresh campaign with a new ad set, etc., essentially by default what Meta will do is the following. For example, over here, when it comes to the audience controls, essentially Meta has divided audiences into two phases right now by default, and again this is happening with most of the ad accounts out there, particularly 95% of the ad accounts out there, that number one, we have to set the audiences, and number two, we have to select from the audiences. For example, over here we need to select the locations, for example the country that you're targeting. It can be the country, it can be the location, it can be the zip code, etc., or even adding locations in bulk. And then it's the minimum age that one needs to select. For example, in a case of coaches and consultants, if you really think that your target audience are someone who, let's say, are 25 plus, then in that case it makes more sense that you start from 25 plus. But again, you cannot go beyond 25 as a minimum age criteria, and you cannot go lower than 18 as a minimum age criteria. And then languages, again you have to select from the languages that Meta has to provide. Now, when it comes to the custom audiences, I do not generally suggest that you place custom audiences when you're selecting advantage plus audience. It's as per experiments and A/B split testing that I came from this. If you want to, sure, but I wouldn't suggest that. Now, once this particular column is done with respect to the audience control, then comes the part of advantage plus audience, where again, what essentially Facebook is doing over here or Meta is doing over here is the following, that our ad technology automatically finds your audience. If you share an audience suggestion, will prioritize audiences matching this profile before searching more wisely. Essentially what it does is that what Facebook is suggesting is that based on their technology, based on the inputs of the ad with respect to the creative, with respect to the ad copies that you write, with respect to the landing page or the website URL that you guys are providing, Facebook will find, or Meta will find, the audiences that it thinks is wise for you. So again, as an advertiser, you do not have to lean towards that, hey, I need to find an audience, etc., or all of that stuff, basically. So yeah, that is, that's again broad targeting, by the way. But what you can actually do is that if you instead do not trust Meta to find the best audience for you, you can switch to original audience placements, or you can add more audience suggestion, again, which is optional. What audience suggestion basically mean is that you add audiences over here that helps a Meta system to understand the type of people that you want to reach. When your suggestion is accurate, it can help you find your audiences faster. If you're not confident about your audience for this campaign, we recommend not adding any audience suggestion. What it means is that unlike the previous years where you need to come up with interest and all of that stuff, you can use you cannot it's your call. I mean, if you want Meta to use its AI technology over here to come up with the best interest, come up with the best audiences, sure you can. What I'm assuming is that by the passage of time, one needs to shift more towards the creative aspect and the ad aspect rather than the targeting aspect. So for example, if you're a coach or a consultant who needs to have some sort of an audiences, for example 25 to 65, as 25 is the minimum age, select the genders, detailed targeting. For example, if you're a coach, let's say in the fitness industry, so let's pick out fitness, sure. So Meta will use this particular keyword or this particular interest and then expand from that point onwards. Now, the second option that again you can choose from is to switch to original audience option. What original audience option means is that if you were to choose this, you won't be leveraging the machine learning and AI technology of Meta. Instead, you'll be doing it manually or the old ways basically. So let's select use original audiences and let's see what Meta has to do. Now it's the same old version that we essentially had selected. So again, the location and then the criteria of the age, and then the advantage detailed targeting. Again, it's the same thing with respect to the audiences and the interest and the behaviors and job titles, etc. So the take, again, which is very important, the take is, what my take is that given all of these trends, the picture of targeting today looks something like this. Number one, you have fewer and fewer detailed targeting options than ever before. Number two, your targeting inputs aren't always required. It is good to have a few targeting options, but again, those aren't mandatory. And number three, when provided with targeting inputs means less than ever before, because the algorithm can and will go broader with the passage of time. Now, based on these facts, these are not debatable at all. Whether or not you insist on using granular targeting options and you believe that they are more effective does not matter. It's because in some cases the impact of those granular inputs are probably far less than that you think, because the audience is expanded in one way or another. In others, you may actually hurt your results by refusing to evolve with the passage of time. That isn't to say that broad targeting works 100% of the time for all advertisers, for all SMEs, for all business owners, and for all coaches and consultants. You should never use granular targeting. What I am basically suggesting is that you always test based on the interest, test based on the advantage plus audiences, test based on everything that Meta has to provide. So that is essentially the way to move forward as an advertiser. Now, as a gift for you, I'm offering a free ebook called The 11 Social Media Ads Secret Finally Revealed. If you're a coach or a consultant looking forward to, again, increasing your revenue and your leads, make sure that you claim that particular ebook. Link in the description below. And if you haven't checked out my previous video with respect to targeting, make sure that you do. The link will be here somewhere towards the end of the video. And